Hey guys, so I wanted to come on here and I guess you can say do a video talking about something that I've talked about before but I haven't talked about in a while. One of the traditions that I try to keep up with, but lately it's been a lot hard to do with a lot of the copyright protections and things like that and the changing of different formats and the changing and evolution of different DVD, Blu-ray burning software, stuff like that. But one of the traditions I like to do, especially around this time of year, as early as possible, is what I call the Holidays, Movies, and Specials DVDs. And the reason I like to do these on a yearly basis as best as I could is because of the fact that every year you get something different. Like you'll still get the same specials and everything here and there, don't get me wrong. You'll still get the same specials. But the thing is, sometimes you'll get something different. And sometimes when you get that something different, it doesn't always mean you're going to see it once again. Because they might say, okay, this was the only year, that's it. A prime example is the Thanksgiving Day Parade. And I know some people might say, well, it's just the same parade over and over, right? Not exactly. It goes down the same route and everything, no doubt about it. But what makes it completely different than any other year is the fact that, they have different balloons at times, sometimes newer ones, replacing ones that were there the previous year or for years prior. They have different performers, celebrities. Like I was saying, and I do apologize for the phone interrupting. My mom had to talk for a little bit. She just got into Patterson, and she was getting her gas, and then she just had to talk. She does that because it keeps her awake and while she's drinking her coffee. But anyway, like I said, the Macy's Parade, some people might say it's the same every year, but like I was trying to say before the phone rang, it's not exactly the same every year. It's different, and what's different about it, as I was trying to say, was they have new balloons that come in, sometimes replacing balloons that have been there in the previous year that only made one appearance or several appearances over several years, if not a decade. Sometimes they introduce some new balloonicals, if you will, as well as new floats and stuff, and just all kinds of new things. And they also bring in various new marching bands from across the country and everything. And the other highlight is they always bring in new Broadway numbers. It's not always the same Broadway number as the previous year. I mean, the only the only the only similarity that stays the same, the only things that stay the same, I should say, are the people that host the parade, which is mostly today, and the people at CBS, as well as the fact that you have the Rockettes, you have America's Spirit, I think it stays in there, and of course Santa Claus, ending the parade with his arrival. So, there's a lot of things that stay the same, and of course the floats and balloons and all that, the balloonicals, whatever they're called, the float like balloons, that have been there previous years that are still there, they remain the same. But there's always something different. And like I said, the performers are different, like the celebrities, that they get in, like the artists and all that are different. They're not the same. And if they are, it's just a coincidence. But most of the time it is different. And the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade isn't the only thing that's different. Sometimes, if not most times, the Christmas Day Parade from Walt Disney World and Disneyland, is different. And there's no doubt that this year it's going to be different. It's going to be, not COVID, version as it was a year or so before. But it's going to basically be a parade that's going to celebrate, hey, we're back to sort of a normal state of mind, if you will. So there's going to be things different, there's no doubt. Things that will stay the same, things that, don't stay the same. And the same goes with holiday movies and specials. For my mom, of course, as I've mentioned before, she's a fan of Hallmark. And obviously, so are many other people, including friends of mine. And no disrespect towards that. It's just not my cup of tea, if you catch my drift. Unless it's something that I can be like, okay, this sounds, promising. Maybe I'll check it out. But most of the time, it's not my cup of tea because, as I've said before various times here on my channel in a video, when you watch one Hallmark movie, you've pretty much seen them all because it's basically the same storyline over and over and over again. The only thing that's different is the actors, the actresses, the settings, and that's it. Like the locations and all that, and that's it. Nothing else. So yeah, basically, if you, like I said, if you've seen one Hallmark movie, you've seen them all. And for me, like I said, it's just not my cup of tea. But when it comes to holiday movies, there are some that, I like to watch when they come out and enjoy. Like The Muppet Christmas Carol, Flintstones Christmas Carol, Yogi's First Christmas, things like that. Things that I grew up on and enjoy, and definitely you could tell that there was a lot of effort put into. And, those are the kind of specials that I like to try to record year after year. And I know people might say, well, why would you want to record them year after year? It doesn't make sense. Well, it's basically something that goes back to when a lot of us were kids. When we would use a VHS tape to record, various, specials every year, including the same ones, we did it because, tapes, VHS tapes, just like audio cassette tapes and all that, and 8-track tapes, yes, that's how old I am, they would, get damaged. They could be easily damaged because sometimes the tape itself would get caught. So thankfully when they went to DVD, things got a little bit better. But again, that tradition of continuously recording the same specials and stuff year after year stayed with me and stayed with a lot of us, I'm pretty sure. Because even though discs can't get caught, if you will, in a DVD tray, not saying they can't, they are very acceptable to breakage. Like, in other words, if you're moving something and a disc falls out, boom, it could shatter. And unless you have a digital copy on hand or you have a backup, you're pretty much screwed. Or if you have the official version of what you have on there on hand, then you're alright. But recording wise, you're screwed. So that's why it's always good to record, numerous backups. And for me, that's what I've been doing for quite some time. As I've mentioned before in a video or so, video or so in the past, basically this all started, this whole holiday special movie tradition of mine that I try to keep going, started back in late, I would say 2004. Yeah, 2004. I actually have a DVD. It's in there somewhere. It's in there somewhere. It's packed away somewhere. It's either in my ottoman here or it's packed away in the closet. But it's one of my first ones. And on it I have Sonic Christmas Blast, Yogi's First Christmas, Jolly Molly Christmas, and some music videos, and that's it. And I recorded that off my Apex recorder, which pretty much means if I play it on my Ultra HD Blu-ray player, it probably won't work because for some odd reason it doesn't read the Apex recordings. Just saying. It does with some of them, but not all of them. But anyway, long story short, it started back, DVD wise, I should say, back with that, if you will. But reality wise, it actually started a lot earlier. It started about late 98, around Thanksgiving 98, and that's when I decided to record the Thanksgiving Day Parade from 1998. And seeing as I had enough time on there, I would try to record a lot of the specials, which I would do. And I continuously tried to do that as the years went on. Even when I moved out on my own and my only means of recording was still VHS, which I think it was the same for a lot of us, I would do that, in the year 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003. And then when I finally got my first Apex recorder, my first DVD recorder, I basically was able to go and convert it to DVD. You know, at least, well, not convert, but upgrade to DVD recording. And I've been trying to do that ever since. And like I said, the one I'm talking about is in there, but I'm not going to get it because I'm trying to do this on a time crunch. My mom's on her way home, so I want to do this before she gets home. But yeah, basically, that was the first initial one, and I've tried to keep it going ever since. You know, sometimes I miss years, sometimes I don't miss years, but I do my best. You know, I do my best to try to, you know, keep it all, you know, organized, or try to keep, you know, focus on when I have to do it. And working sometimes, you know, does throw a wrench in plans because, you know, when you get home from work, you're not really in the mood to do much, and you have to come up with different alternatives. Thank God, you know, Microsoft and, you know, companies like them have their DVD burners and all that, have their DVD burner or Blu-ray burner programs, so that way you could take a recordable DVD or recordable Blu-ray and put the files on there that you want. Like in my case, you can put movie files or you know, on there, and you're able to make a DVD. And I've done that numerous times, you know, with what I'm about to show you. But yeah, again, I've been doing it for years and years. And I have more than what I'm going to show you here, and some of them are over here in this area in my CD rack or my DVD rack, because these are DVDs over here that I have in jewel cases, and others are stored away, I think, still in the closet, not closet, but in the garage, which I have to get my hands on. But most of what I'm about to show you here is exactly what I have on hand. And I'm going to start off again. Like I said, the other one, the first one, the very first DVD version is in here somewhere. I'll have to get it later, and I'll show you that later if I feel like it. The VHSs, if you're curious about those, you know, they're done. They're gone. Basically, I couldn't bring the VHSs that I recorded back with me, and so my dad took them, put them in one of my old rooms in the house he was living in. And because of the fact that house was falling apart slowly year by year, because it's over 100-something years old, to the point that they finally boarded it up after he was removed because of an issue between him and his younger sister. Basically, those tapes are gone. Those tapes are pretty much history now. But anyway, though, I want to start off by showing you one of the first DVD sets that I actually made, and keyword there, sets, because I would always do them individually, because I would try to focus just like on the primary stuff, like the Thanksgiving Day Parade, the Christmas Day Parade, Rudolph, Frosty, you name it. But something told me, you know what, go out there and, you know, have fun. Just have fun with what you have. And, you know, that's what I did here. And this is basically the first set that I did in 2012, almost a decade ago. It's going to be a decade ago next year. And that in the tiny print there, I'm pretty sure you can try to read that as best you can. That right there is all of them that I have. And it is basically on 6 discs. It is basically a 6-disc set. And you're wondering, you know, how did I get my hands on something like this? Basically, I went to Amazon and I ordered these. I ordered these things here because they do have replacement cases you can buy, especially if, you know, your case for an official release of, let's say, a complete series on DVD is broken. They have something like this to help you out with. And yeah, this was the first one I did, and this is 6, like I said, 6 disc, if you will, which is pretty cool. And then that's all the stuff that's on there. And most of that's on some of the ones I'm about to show you as well. Like, for example, this one here is 2013. And the one thing I decided to do in 2013 when I bought more of these multi-set cases is I wanted to up the ante on me. So in 2016, I went from basically 10 discs. This is a 10 disc holder, by the way, 10 disc case holder. So I went from 10 disc, I went from 6 disc to virtually the following year starting out with 10. And what I did basically is to really get ahead of stuff as I started right at the beginning of October. And I would list basically, as I try to turn this around here, I would list basically the date as to when I started. So each of these have a date on them. Like this was October 6th. And then I would basically go week by week if I had an opportunity. If I had to skip a week or something, I would do that because other things came up. But I would mainly try to obtain it week by week or bi-weekly to, try to get a lot of stuff, in there. And if I had to, I would actually wait just 5 days and then continuously go from there. So yeah, this is 10 disc, believe it or not, of nothing but holiday specials from Halloween to Christmas. The only thing I never did was create a cover for it because it would be a long list of stuff on the back. The other one, of course, is this one. And this is only 6 discs, but this is actually a 10 disc set. And you can actually add more sleeves in there if you want to, more holders. And this is disc 11, disc 11, disc 12, disc 13, 14, 15, and 16. 16 discs in 1 year, spanning Halloween, Christmas, and even New Year's. And I think I put a Valentine's Day thing on there. I think I put the Berenstein Bears Valentine's special they did. And let me check something real quickly, guys. 9:57. I'm just checking the time because it takes my mom about 22 minutes or 25 minutes to get home. But yeah, that's 16 discs. So I upped the ante. I went from 6 discs to 10 more, if you will. Basically, like I said, 2012, that was 6 discs. That was fine. 2013 started from the beginning of October and ended, at Valentine's Day, I believe, in 2014, a little around the time I started to work. So yeah, that was quite a long recording spree, if you will. But basically, I want to really kind of top myself, and I did. I topped myself by basically saying, hey, if you're going to do 6, why don't you do 10 more? And that's what I did. So I did 16. Then the following year, because I didn't have multiple disc, I didn't have the multi-disc cases like this, I decided to go individual. And these are all 2014. One of them is missing. I think that might be in the garage or something like that. Oh, it might be in there as disc 1. But I'm trying to make sure here that I have it all. Yeah, I got some, like I said, some are scattered about somewhere. I think some of them in the garage, some of them are in hiding somewhere. Maybe even under one of my cabinet, one of my Blu-ray cabinets here. Or not cabinets, but cases, one of my Blu-ray cases, DVD cases. But this is 2014. This is disc 2. And then this is disc 3. This is disc 4. This is disc 5. And then there's some around here. I just got to find them. Maybe I'll do a follow-up once I do. Follow-up video, that is, once I do. But I do have more, believe me. If you're seeing all this, you're like, yeah, he probably does have more. He's just got to find them. And then this is disc 2 from the year that followed in 2015. And you can tell basically how I went from, 16 discs to just primarily 6 discs in 2014 and less in 2015. That's because, again, I was working, and, sometimes when you come home from work, you're tired and, you don't want to do much. You know what I'm saying? And so I continued it as best I could throughout 2015, with that one being an example, and then 2016, 17. And again, I have them somewhere. I just got to look for them. And then this one here is one of them I have from 2018. Yeah, this is 2018. And I do have one. I think it's over here somewhere. I just got to bring it out. I think I have it somewhere in here, somewhere. Hold on. I gotta, bring it out here. Hold on. I think I have it somewhere. Yeah, here it is. So this one is the only one I did in 2019. This is the 2019 one, right there. So yeah, I basically have been doing it for, like I said, for quite some time. DVD wise, I've been doing it for about 15 years, or at least trying to. But mainly I've been doing it for over 20 years. So when you combine both VHS and DVD. But the reason I say this, the reason I'm talking about this is because to me, if you really want to record, if you really want to basically have holiday specials, on hand from Halloween to Christmas and even in between, like Valentine's Day, New Year's, Easter and all that, and even 4th of July, if you want to have them, you want to have holiday specials on hand that keep you entertained as well as your young ones like grandchildren or nieces and nephews entertained, then my suggestion is if you have the ability to do so, get some of these on DVD. Don't just buy them individually, but basically scour the internet if you have to, find a torrent that you can trust, or go on YouTube or Dailymotion, whatever, download the file for that, for that special or that movie. And then, if you have the software available, whether it's Windows DVD burner or it's something for a Blu-ray burner, whatever, use that to create a DVD disc for the kid, for yourself, and family to enjoy in the future. Even if it contains the same specials from another disc you put them on, but it contains something different to kind of balance it out, go ahead and do it. That's my advice. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here show you, the fact that when I get into the holiday spirit, at least I try to. When I have the opportunity, I really get into it, and especially when it comes to movies and specials. And it's a tradition that I've been doing for a while and trying to keep up for a while, for almost 20 years, starting with VHS and evolving into DVD and all that. But what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on this whole situation? How do you feel about that? Of what I'm doing, basically, when it comes to specials and all that, and doing it on a yearly basis? Do you do that as well? Do you record the same specials or movies along with some different ones to balance them out, every year? What are your thoughts? Comment down below, live chat during the premiere, like the video, check me out at Teespring, as well as check me out at patreon.com/bwrosas, as well as at BW Rosas discussions on all your favorite audio podcast locations except for Pandora, as well as check me out on BW Rosas on Vimeo. So until next time, guys, take care, God bless, I'm out.